Hey guys, what's up? It's Imurgency and welcome back to our channel, and welcome back to day 6 or 7 out of our 12 days of Christmas series, where I upload a new video every day for 12 days leading up to Christmas. I did take the day off yesterday to just really refresh and re-energize so I don't burn out and I can come up with ideas, edit. It was a really good day for productivity in general. But if you missed it in my last video, I did react to my college decisions reactions video, which was pretty interesting, pretty emotional, so you should go and check that out. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about internships, basically what they are, what their uses are, what the benefits, what the drawbacks are, and then sort of getting into the whole unpaid versus paid internship debate and whether that's exploitation or not. So if any of that interests you, then keep on watching, and if you're new to the channel, then definitely subscribe, because I will be uploading videos every single day up until Christmas, so you got content. So internships. If you're unfamiliar with what an internship is, basically it's a period of time where you get real life work experience by working with another company, another business, or in a lot of cases, working with your school and like different aspects of your school to really just get hands-on work experience. So generally how it works is that you apply for these internships like you would apply for a job. And these things are usually done well in advance of when you actually have the internship. They can last anywhere from a semester to half a year to a full year. So for example, for me, it is currently fall semester, the end of the fall semester, and I'm looking to apply for internships in the summer. So a lot of the deadlines for internships are coming up now and up into January and February, just so they can process all that and make their hires by the time the summer comes around, so I can be hired. The real value of internships is that you get real life experience. Like it's not like the school environment where you're like learning about like your different discipline, like you're actually in the field working like actual like real life adults. I don't know why I put that in quotes, because like they're actually like adults. I just don't consider myself an adult. I don't consider college kids adults, but it gives you opportunity to get into that space and really figure out what you want to do in your life. Like personally speaking, I've had no idea what I want to do as like a real job, so being able to take different internships has helped me be able to figure out what I like, what I don't like, what kind of work environments I prefer to be in, which ones I want to stay away from. It just really gives you a lot of context. And another big draw to them is that as you get a little bit older and a little bit later in your educational career, and even like post-grad, a lot of those internships, by the end of them, turn into actual job opportunities. A lot of these things are very highly competitive and very highly coveted by college age and recent graduate students. Now, why am I telling you all this in the first place? Well, for one, I'm going through it and I really need to like vent, but at the same time I do want to look at this sort of through like the commentary sort of lens and sort of bring it back to a video that I did a little bit earlier this week where I did talk about hustle culture. And how that sort of ties into each other is that internships, from my experience, ties very heavily with hustle culture. So like I said before, internships are very competitive. A lot of people are applying to a lot of places because everyone wants a job, everyone wants something to do. And at the school that I go to, internships are something that like are expected of you. Like a lot of people take up their first internship by their second semester of their first year. Some even their first semester out of college, and it really feels like that is putting a lot of pressure on people to like actually start getting going with their career, just getting started. And while it's great that people are taking this seriously and are getting started with their careers, it also does put a lot of stress on people that may not be ready for that yet. It does definitely leave the impression for people that either A, couldn't get an internship that first year, didn't know about opportunities because like you're fresh out of high school, or people that just wanted to wait and take time to actually get their full education first. At least for like their first year. For those groups, it definitely gives the impression that they are behind and they're not doing as much, which isn't necessarily the truth and shouldn't be seen that way, but you know, like not to be a broken record if you saw my last video, but everyone does things at their own pace. So it's not really fair to really compare where people are at based on what either internship they got, when they got their internship, or if they didn't get one at all, because it is a very, very competitive environment. Everyone wants to get one, and there are only like limited spaces that companies can actually hire for. So with that said, going into this, I just want to get that out the way. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that I feel like is debated pretty often when it comes to internships is the whole deal with paid internships versus unpaid internships. And before I give my thoughts on it, I'm just going to explain both sides to you really quickly, just so we're all on the same page and that you can form your own opinions on it. So first, let's start with unpaid. Unpaid internships are, well, unpaid. You're not being like actually compensated monetarily for the work that you're doing. It's different from volunteering in that you're actually like employed as an intern. And a lot of times these internships tend to come from medium to small size companies as well as like nonprofits. And I guess like the draw to these is that they say that instead of being paid monetarily, you're getting paid an actual work experience. Now, while these may be unpaid, the internships are still internships and you will still be doing quite a lot of work to get that hands-on experience that you'd be getting instead of money. Places that offer a lot of unpaid internships tend to be places in politics, in like the startup entrepreneurial world, as well as nonprofits and just general like NGOs. Now moving on to paid internships. Paid internships, again, like the name says, are paid. The level of pay really depends on the company. And generally larger companies and more popular companies tend to have the funds to be able to pay their interns. Some may come in the form of like an hourly wage, like a general salary, or just a one-time stipend. Fields that offer paid internships tend to be in fashion, advertising, PR, and IT, among others. Now personally, I prefer paid internships, and I feel that all internships should be paid to some degree, especially if they are in school. This is something that's really debated because from the employer standpoint, not all businesses are able to pay for both employees and interns, while some just don't want to pay interns. And then from the intern's perspective, it just isn't feasible a lot of the times, especially if you are in school, to be working that many hours essentially for free, especially while balancing school and sometimes a part-time job or work study. From my perspective, I understand like you need to gain experience, like that's the whole point of an internship, but at the same time, I feel like you can get that experience and get paid at the same time. Which leads me to my next point of the exploitation of unpaid interns. So a lot of times when it comes to unpaid internships, employers tend to lean on them a little bit more just because they have the whole ploy of like getting experience. So the more work you do, the more experience you get, and you don't really have to pay them. You can just like get them to work as much just for the sake of like getting that work experience, you know? Which causes a lot of stress for interns to keep up with that workload. And there also is that worry that because they're unpaid, they are easily expendable and switched out for other interns just because you're not paying them. It's not like a payroll. It's not something that you really have to worry about. Like you can just switch in one for another. So there also is that running in the back of people's minds, which brings up the question of, is this exploitation of labor or not? In a Forbes article talking about internships and whether it's exploitation or opportunity, they describe that in order to have like a healthy relationship, for this to be an opportunity for interns, there needs to be some sort of gain for both parties. And this article talks a lot about inclusivity in internships in the hiring process, as well as once they're actually hired, like paying them for the work that they do. And one of the main takeaways is that internships should be mutually beneficial. So it's like for the employer side, you get a lot of work done from your interns and you have possible new employee prospects. And from the intern side, you have being paid and getting that job experience. So I feel like in order to avoid this whole problem of like internship exploitation, either give a reasonable amount of work and expectation for unpaid interns, or even better, just pay them. Now with all that said, for people that may have not had an internship before, you may be thinking, wow, paid internships are obviously like the way to go. Paid internships tend to be a lot more competitive because there are a lot more people applying and there are a lot fewer spaces. So that raises the question, are unpaid internships really worth it? And to this, I would say, yes, it depends. Like, of course, getting that experience is very, very useful and important for moving forward in your career. It really depends on your situation, schedule, and workload. I feel like if you really have that experience and are able to support yourself or have someone support you while you're doing that internship and you'll be fine monetarily, then yes, go for it. Also, if you have the time and are able to support yourself, then definitely go for it. I feel like it really becomes questionable when you need to depend on that internship to be your sole source of income or to be your supporting source of income to be able to do what you need to do, be able to afford your place of living, your education. So I feel like when that's being put into question, it might be another conversation, what you'd be willing to give up in exchange for that work experience, or if that's even worth it for you at that time. But I truly believe that internships in general are a really good source of just out of the classroom education and just real world experience. I can't stress this enough. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that for now. I wanna hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you guys looking for internships? Do you have an internship? Is it paid or unpaid? What are your opinions on all that? Let me know it all down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new and want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you subscribe to stick around for more. Also make sure to give this video a like and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. And once again, follow me on all my socials at Imurgency. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Imurgency and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Peace.
Hope I get in. I just got the email here. It says applicant status update. My mom didn't know here, obviously. Okay, so I'm about to click the email. Alright, log into your portal page.
Before you say anything, yes, my teeth are a little different. I have a little bit of a vampire situation, and I got that fixed. As my good sis Cardi B once said, gotta bag and fix my teeth. Hope you hoes know it ain't cheap. And I felt that.
Okay, here we go. Alright, status update. Got in the chat room. Hey, okay.
I remember this so clearly. Like I remember like the confetti that came up on the screen and everything.